everybody, my name is Mars, you can call me MG if you'd like, and today I'm going to be binging a book series. Well, no, I'll be starting a book series and binging it over the course of several days because even though this is a duology, I don't think I can read both books in one day. Well, maybe. I'm not going to. I might be able to if I did absolutely nothing else all day, but I'm not going to try that. Anyway, this intro is a mess. I have not binged a book series in a hot minute, and it's something that I love to do, so I figured let's ease back into the practice of doing that with a nice short duology, only 2 books. And the books that I will be reading in this vlog are the Reign of the Fallen duology by Sarah Glenn Marsh, who I recently have realized is not the same person as Sarah Beth Durst or Sarah Reese Brennan. For some reason, for years now, every time I heard one of those names, my brain just kind of like mushed them all into one person. So every time I heard like the name of one of their books, I kind of just contributed them all to the same author. And then very recently, like within the past 3-4 weeks, I was like, oh my god, those are 3 different people. But they're all Sarah blank blank. And so my brain just mushed them all together. I have not read anything by Sarah Reese Brennan, but I have read The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst, and this will be my first foray into Sarah Glenn Marsh's books, so I am excited. But we have Reign of the Fallen, which is book 1, and then book 2 is Song of the Dead, but we're not there yet, so I can put that down and just hold this up. You can see I've already got my bookmark in there marking the start of chapter 1 so I can get going on it. But I picked up this duology at a library book sale a year and a half ago, 2 whole years ago maybe? I don't remember if I bought it at the fall or spring edition of this library book sale because they have it twice a year. But I think it was like $1 for the hardcover, and then this paperback was 50 cents, so I did not spend a lot of money on it at all. But I have felt a little bit bad about letting it kind of just languish on my shelf for a while. So we're finally here to read these. I picked these up because several years ago at this point, I finally convinced my friend Jess, she's from the channel The Hex Library, go check her out if you want, she's an amazing person. I finally convinced her to read The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd Jones, which is my favorite book of all time, so I'm trying to convince everyone I know to read it. But she did finally read it, and she enjoyed it, and she's like, you know, a book with similar vibes is Reign of the Fallen. So when I saw this at the library book sale, I was like, I might as well. So let me read the back of the book so that you understand the vibes of what we're going into. And this is the only information I have on what these books are about. I have not seen anything else about it. So it says, without the dead, she'd be no one. Odessa is one of Carthia's master necromancers, catering to the kingdom's ruling dead. Whenever a noble dies, it's Odessa's job to raise them by retrieving their soul from a dreamy and dangerous shadow world called the Deadlands. But there is a cost to being raised. The dead must remain shrouded. If even a hint of flesh is exposed, a grotesque transformation begins, turning the dead into terrifying, bloodthirsty shades. A dramatic uptick in shade attacks raises suspicions and fears among Odessa's necromancer community. Soon, a crushing loss of one of their own leaves Odessa shattered and reveals a disturbing conspiracy in Carthia. Someone is intentionally creating shades by tearing shrouds from the dead and training them to attack. Odessa is forced to contemplate a terrifying question. What if her magic is the weapon that brings the kingdom to its knees? Fighting alongside her fellow mages and a powerful girl as enthralling as she is infuriating, Odessa must untangle the gruesome plot to destroy Carthia before the shades take everything she loves. So yeah, not exactly the same vibes as the Bone Houses, but I can see the similarities, and also the cover is kind of similar. I have the Bone Houses on a shelf behind me. I could have thought to grab it, but I didn't, so maybe later on in the video I can show you the similar covers, because that also has like a stylistic skull in the middle. Very pretty. This one is fine. I don't love it, but it's interesting. And then there's the bird on Song of the Dead made out of like the same metal. But yeah, I am gonna get going on this. I have a plan actually. So I have a video that I have to edit for tomorrow. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna edit that first. And then while my computer is occupied with exporting and uploading and all of that good stuff. I can't use it because my laptop is very old and would probably explode if I tried to do something at the same time a video was exporting. I will start this and try and get a good chunk into it. I don't know how often I'm gonna update you. Maybe a third of the way through the book, maybe halfway if it doesn't seem like there's enough to update you on. I don't really know. But I will get started on this after I edit my video, and then come back and chat with you with my first thoughts at some point in time. Okay, friends, it has been about an hour, and my video is edited, uploaded, and all of that, and I've read 25 pages of Reign of the Fallen, so I figured I'd give you, like, a first taste kind of update. And essentially what happens in these first 2 chapters is we have, what is her name? I don't even remember. Odessa, our main character, Odessa. She and her boyfriend, Evander, have just become a, like, top-ranking necromancer duo. They're masters now, and they have been tasked with raising the king from the dead. So, essentially, Carthia has been ruled by the same king and queen for hundreds of years, and, like, the same high nobles, and they just keep, whenever they, like, deteriorate too much, kill them, get raised again. And they don't like change or progress or anything. There's even a quote from the king, and he says, where did it go? Where did it go? I just saw it. Oh, progress is a slow-acting poison that will ensure Carthia's eventual death. So, they want things to stay exactly the same. No new recipes, no new clothing, no new, like, medicinal advancements, even. So that's really interesting. I've never really seen that kind of vibe before. But Odessa and Evander have been tasked with raising the king this time around, and in order to do so, they need one of his living descendants in order to find his soul in the Deadlands. But the Deadlands always take a price from people who aren't necromancers, and it could be like any type of like infertility, so it could mean whoever comes with them can no longer bear a child, or maybe anything they plant in the ground won't grow, like things along those lines. And the descendant who has been chosen this time to like help this resurrection is Princess Valoria. Is that how you say it? Show me your name. Yeah, Valoria. I'm really bad at names. It definitely takes me several chapters for them to stick in my brain. And she is an inventor, which you can understand there being trouble with being an inventor in a land that shuns progress. But there's this weird, like, magic system involving eye colors, so only people with blue eyes can become necromancers and mages. People with brown eyes are really good at, like, fixing things and creating things, like Valoria. People with hazel eyes are really good healers, that sort of thing, which is interesting. I want to know more about that whole setup and how that works. The 3 of them are about to embark on this whole situation. There's a portal to the Deadlands that only people with blue eyes can see, and they see stumbling out of it, excuse me, one of their, like, teachers of the necromantic arts, Nicander, and Nicander is alone, which is weird because you are not allowed to enter the Deadlands alone. You have to be with your partner, but Nicander's partner, Simbri, is nowhere to be found. And then a giant shade pops out and kills Nicander. Crazy. So things are not great, but people come, this healer comes in and is like giving them potions to like calm them down, but both Odessa and Evander like kind of fake taking the potion because they don't want their minds to be addled in the Deadlands. and then they're like, well, we have to raise the king because he's the king, so let's get the show on the road. And the last thing we see is them entering the Deadlands. Another thing that is important to mention is that Odessa is known as the Sparrow because she's like very fast at traversing the Deadlands and like getting in and out in record time. So that's fun. She has tattoos above her elbows of these indigo sparrows, which I think is really cool. I like that a lot. So yeah, I am assuming that Valoria is this powerful girl as enthralling as she is infuriating that is mentioned on the back. I want to know if there's going to be a romance between the two of them, because that's what it feels like from the vibes in the sentence on the back, but also like Odessa and Evander are dating right now. I don't know how I feel about Evander yet. He's very much a like, how do I put this? Like kind of carefree compared to Odessa, who's like constantly worrying about things, and he's like trying to get her to make out with him with the king's dead body right there while they wait for this relative to show up. And even when she's like, hey, there's people starting to show up, he's like still really touchy-feely, and I'm like, that's weird. Especially because they both started training 7 years ago, and it explicitly says she was 10, he was 12, and that at this point, they've been dating for 2 years, which means they started dating when she was 15 and he was 17, and now she's 17, he's 19. And, like, that's not the craziest age gap, especially for, like, a fantasy story. But, like, it still feels a little bit weird to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just blowing things out of proportion, but that feels a little bit odd. Anyway, I am gonna stop rambling and get on with my life, get on with reading, and because I've given you this initial update, I'll probably wait until like the halfway mark to tell you more thoughts on this, unless something absolutely insane happens and I need to let you know right away. But yeah, it's intriguing so far. I'm not like instantly obsessed with it or like fully drawn into the world and the writing, but I want to know what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna find out. Hello, friends. Please ignore this really weird lighting and also Gremlin just lurking in the background. I'm updating you from the living room because this is where I have been hanging out for quite a while because I had dinner and then watched a hockey game with my boyfriend, and I also did quite a bit of reading, and I'm now halfway through Reign of the Fallen. I forgot the name of the book. This book is fine. Like, it's a fast read and I'm interested in it, but I wouldn't say that I'm like loving it, you know? It's very like solid B, if that makes sense. I don't know what it is that's holding me back about it. It feels very similar to An Ember in the Ashes, which is another book that I liked well enough. I just didn't love it, and I couldn't quite tell what it was. Maybe it's like the writing style or like the world building. Oh, sorry, I was blocking. Oh, what are you doing, Gremlin? She's like half off of the computer, half onto the cat tree. Anyway, I don't know what I was saying. Yeah, I don't know exactly what it is about this. It's just something isn't quite like, I don't know. There's something about this that is preventing me from absolutely loving it, even though it has a lot of stuff that I find really interesting. Hopefully by the end of the book, I will figure out exactly what it is and be able to put it into words for you. But we have had some major developments with the plot. This is not a spoilery vlog, so I won't go into too much detail, but the, crushing loss of one of their own was exactly what I thought it would be when I first started reading this book and I learned what characters we were dealing with. I'm like, okay, this is the person that's gonna die, and that was the person that died. And yeah, I think that's really it. There's some political intrigue going on, which is really fun. We did learn a little bit more about the magic in that most of the world doesn't care about finding out more about the magic. It's really just, I forget her name again. The princess something. What was her name? I don't know. Whoever the princess is that is like the inventor person, she really wants to learn about why the magic is the way that it is, and why people with blue eyes are able to see these doors into the Deadlands and learn these necromantic arts, and why people with brown eyes are really good at like fixing things. I think I mentioned how people with hazel eyes are really good healers. We also meet someone, I forget what color eyes they said that she had, but she can control weather, like there's weather magic, and that's so intriguing. I am on this princess's side. I want to know more about the magic and how it works. So I hope we get to explore that a little bit more. Right now, we're going on a bit of a dangerous rescue mission. I am so orange in this lighting. Why is my living room / kitchen lighting like this? Really weird. Is my lip bleeding? That's embarrassing. Okay, well, this clip feels like a disaster, but I did really just want to let you know that I'm halfway through, liking it but not loving it. I will get more reading done tonight. Right now, though, I'm gonna go take a shower and vibe with a little bit of YouTube after that while I do like my evening journaling that I do every day. And then I will read more tonight, probably when I get into bed. And I guess I'll finish this tomorrow. At least it's a very, very fast read, and also the font is huge, so I appreciate that. Oh, now my bookmark is misaligned. Okay, well, I'm gonna go now. I will see you when I have finished book 1 in this duology. Hello, friends. It is 6:45 p.m. on Monday, and I have finished Reign of the Fallen. I came very close to reading all of this yesterday, but when I went to bed last night, I had, I think, like 60 pages left that I saved, maybe like 70, something like that. Definitely less than 100 pages to go that I saved for today. But then I ended up sleeping in, so I did not have time to read before work. Excuse me. It has been a very long day at work. We were super busy, and on top of that, I was training someone new, so it was like we were moving slower, so it felt like we were busier. But then went grocery shopping, came home, and I've just finished reading the last little bit of this book, and it was good. I think it's the writing style, like the fact that it's very like easy to get into and like compelling. Like I want to keep reading it when I'm reading it. I mean, obviously, because I read almost 300 pages in one day. It reminds me in that way, like the writing style of Shadow and Bone or An Ember in the Ashes, but also like those books. For me personally, while I did really enjoy the reading experience, it's not like an absolute favorite. So it was still really good, but like not top notch, like one notch down, you know? So, yeah, that was the first book. The main villain, I will say, the like big bad, I did call it from like the first entrance on the page. I was like, you're gonna be the bad guy. The powerful girl, as enthralling as she is infuriating, is not the princess like I thought. It's a different girl, and I don't really like her. I mean, she's fine as a character, but her relationship to Odessa and other people, and Odessa's relationship with other people, and how it connects the two of them, it's just a little much for me. not my favorite, but we end off on a pretty solid note, so I don't really know where we're gonna go in the Song of the Dead. I mean, I could read the little blurb, but I mean, I don't want to read it out loud to you because it could spoil what happened in book 1, and I don't want to do that. But I will say the like tagline here is "The dead must stay buried." So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen in this one. I don't really have any ideas because it was like one of those endings where it was very much a very clear cut closing to the storyline while leaving it open ended for the characters to do other things. If that makes sense? So, yeah, I don't know. I am going to have dinner and do some other things, but break into this book tonight. Probably when I get in bed, I will start it. And I definitely won't read it as fast as I read the first book because I have work a lot this week. I'm working the same shift tomorrow, 11 to 5, and then Wednesday I have 11 to 6. So we'll see how long it takes me to read this. But I mean, it is very fast paced, and again, pretty decent sized font. That was my wrist that just cracked. That hurt. So yeah, I will crack into this later on tonight, and I guess update you at the halfway mark with some thoughts. Non-spoilery, of course. Hello friends, it is 7:40 p.m. on Tuesday, and I am gonna DNF Song of the Dead. This is just a very unnecessary sequel, and I just went and talked to my boyfriend about it, and so now I'm back here. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but it's the first time you guys are hearing it, so it's fine. But I got to page 86, so that's like what, 21% of the book, because the book is 400 pages long. So I gave it a fair shot. It just, like, Reign of the Fallen didn't need a sequel. It closed off the plot line. It had a little bit of like an open ending with what the character was going to do next, but the actual like story arc came to a very satisfying conclusion. This just isn't doing it for me the same way Reign of the Fallen did. I feel very bored, and I also don't like the characters. Okay, I don't know how to say this without spoiling it. So like, if you don't want to be spoiled for this and the first book, skip ahead like 2 minutes. Maybe not even that much, maybe just like a minute. But, spoiler warning. In Reign of the Fallen, which I have right here, our main character starts off the story with a boyfriend. The boyfriend dies. We are later introduced to a new love interest for our character, and it is the boyfriend's younger sister. And I cannot get over that. Like, I don't even have words. Like, that really bothers me. So I can't get over that, especially because we're just getting more drama between the two characters in here, because they're grieving the loss of this man. One, it was like the love of her life. The other one, it was literally her brother, and they're like, oh, but we want to be together. Like, it's so weird. It's so weird, and I don't like it. So, yeah. Reign of the Fallen. Really enjoyed. Song of the Dead, I'm not having a good time. I'm gonna cut my losses. But I would recommend Reign of the Fallen. It does remind me of, if you like, what's her name? I have a book by her. Adrienne Tooley. If you like Adrienne Tooley's works, I would say check out Reign of the Fallen, because I feel like the story vibes are very similar. The kind of like, not writing, maybe writing style, I don't know. I just feel like if you like Adrienne Tooley's kinds of stories, you would like this book. I would not recommend this one. I can't recommend it because I'm not even going to finish it. But Reign of the Fallen was still good. I will, though, be unhauling both of these books, because I don't think I liked Reign of the Fallen quite enough to, like, see myself rereading it. And plus, I feel like if I put both of these in a little free library, someone will find them and hopefully love them way more than I did. So we have a partial success? A success? I don't know. I did enjoy this. I just didn't absolutely love it. And we have a failure on the part of Song of the Dead. So, yeah. This was an interesting time. It only took a few days of my life, so I'm glad it didn't linger. But yeah, I guess that's the end of this vlog. Quite a anticlimactic ending for this duology binge. But hopefully I do get to binge more series in the future, and they are ones that I absolutely adore. Yeah, interesting time. I'm gonna have some fun writing my little review in my reading journal where I can be as spoilery and mean as I want to. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel for more content, and that way I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone.